All right, good morning from the Georgia WeatherNet 24/7 Storm Center. It is 8:25. We do have a tornado warning now in effect for portions of southwest Georgia. We'll go take a look at the latest information here. This is for northeastern Miller County, southwestern Mitchell County, and central Baker County until 9 a.m. So we'll zoom in close here to give you the shot. This is just to the east of Colquitt, moving along Highway 91 north, and then continuing to move in toward Baker County and moving toward through Miller and Mitchell County as well. So Doppler radar indicating this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado just to the east of Colquitt. This is moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So this is radar indicated, and we don't have any spotters on the ground seeing this. We're just looking at some rotation here on radar. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the high-res imagery and zoom in to give you a nice close view of this. Again, eastern Miller County, just to the east of Colquitt, moving in toward Baker County. So you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. If you are in eastern Miller County, southern Baker County, including the city of Newton, and western Mitchell County, almost to Camilla, but Camilla is not in the warning polygon at the moment. So what we're looking at here, some fairly broad rotation just to the east of Colquitt. Again, along Highway 91, as that is moving toward the intersection with Highway 253 that's just inside Baker County. So pretty rural part of Miller County here, but still want to make sure that you are aware that this storm is capable of producing a tornado with that broad rotation. And this particular cell had a radar confirmed tornado a little bit earlier down closer to Panama City Beach along the Florida Panhandle. So this storm has a history of producing a tornado, and that's why the Weather Service is just playing it safe and going ahead and calling this one out and issuing the warning. So this is for eastern Miller County, most of Baker County, mainly the southern part of Baker County, including Newton, and then western Mitchell County, almost to Camilla. Be a good idea in Camilla to go ahead and be in your tornado, or just be nearby your tornado safe place, that lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows, because if this storm holds together, that will be next in line. So let's go ahead and take a look at get some storm velocity data here and take a track. So I'm going to push it right here again, right along Highway 91. And then, so this is going to be crossing into the western part of Baker County in about 5 to 10 minutes. So pretty fast-moving storm. And if it holds together, you can see it is moving right toward Newton and will be there in less than 30 minutes. So about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from right now is when you need to be in alert in Newton. So go ahead and get to that tornado safe place. I know there are a lot of manufactured homes around Newton. If you know anybody in that area and you know they're in a manufactured home, get them to a site-built building right away. A home, a business, lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. The last place you need to be is going to be in a mobile home or in an automobile. And we watched several tornadoes that moved through the state of Georgia, South Georgia primarily on Sunday. Fortunately, no serious injuries, no fatalities, but a EF2 tornado that rolled through Adel on Sunday afternoon, and a couple of EF1 tornadoes. Again, no serious injuries or fatalities reported with that, and so that is good news. But obviously, these storms, we have to take them seriously, and we had a history of this producing a tornado a little bit earlier this morning, just before sunup, along the Florida Panhandle near Panama City Beach. Let's take another look at inside this storm. That broad rotation does remain. We're just to the east of Colquitt. And tell you what, let me see if I can flip over, give you some streets here. So around Cooktown Road, this is moving northeast toward Kimbrell Road in eastern Miller County, and then we'll continue along very close to Cross Road in western Baker County. So just giving you a few of those landmarks and roadways just north of Highway 91, State Route 91 in northeast Miller County now. That is our primary area of concern. We can see that broad rotation, the greens and the reds together. So this is not tight rotation. Let me just see if we have any indication of debris as this moved through Colquitt Not seeing anything standing out. So it's possible that this has remained in the upper levels. We're looking at about 4,500 feet up into the atmosphere. So pretty good shot. I think if we would have a debris signature, it would be showing up even at 4,500 feet. So if you're just joining us this morning, tornado warning is in effect for eastern Miller County, southern Baker County, actually all the way up into the northern parts of Baker County, including Newton, the county seat, and then into the western portion of Mitchell County, almost to Camilla, but not quite there. So you need to be in your tornado-safe place right now along Highway 91, just a few miles north and even a few miles south of Highway 91 with this strong line of thunderstorms moving through, capable of producing a tornado. We'll zoom out to give you the big picture of what we're looking at. You see another tornado warning down in the Florida Panhandle, so this is going to be continuing to move up toward Georgia. So just heads up for Decatur County and Grady County. Could see a storm-producing tornado or here shortly if that holds together. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that covers Seminole County as well as most of Decatur County, and that is in effect until 8:45. So those severe thunderstorms continue to move through Bainbridge, beginning to head toward western Grady County, and we'll be arriving in Cairo shortly. But our current active tornado warning until 9 o'clock, and this is going to be for the eastern portion of Miller County, most of Baker County, and western Mitchell County. All right, so take another view here of our velocity product. See what we're looking at. That rotation continues to broaden out, so we'll see if the Weather Service hangs on to this warning all the way until 9 o'clock. We've got 28 minutes to go. And they could hang on to this because they're watching numerous storms along the along the Florida Panhandle. So we get these warnings out of the Tallahassee office. So they have a lot going on right now along the coastline, about ready to put out another tornado warning down around Port St. Joe in Florida. So typically what we see when you have a lot of activity going on, they're not as quick to cancel the warnings. They'll just let them ride for a little bit longer while they put their eye on other things, and I can't blame them for that at all. So tornado warning for northeastern Miller County, southwestern Mitchell County, central Baker County, in effect until 9 o'clock. This was prompted due to a severe thunderstorm that was just east of Colquitt, and that rotation continues to broaden out. So this is becoming less of a threat with each scan, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Let me take a look at some of the upper levels here. And we do see still some decent upper-level rotation all the way up to around 8,500 feet. And so worth keeping this in mind. If you are in the city of Colquitt, and we're talking about the city of Colquitt, not Colquitt County, but city of Colquitt and Miller County, you are going to be clear of this particular cell. But as far as northeast Miller County, right along Highway 91 and now beginning to stretch into the western edge of Baker County. That's where you need to be in your tornado-safe place right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. I'll tell you what, we'll flip over to our other radar here, and we can take a look at some of these roads that we have pulled up and also check out the velocity. Yeah, it's really just not showing a lot of rotation anymore on this, but it was spinning, and a lot of these storms are going to be spinning as we move through the morning hours because we have a lot of wind shear. That's the change of direction of the wind as you go up in altitude, and that's what gets these storms spinning up. Not a ton of instability, so the storms have some issues trying to get started, but once they get started, they are going to spin fairly easily. So let's see if we can get a road here. So Cooktown Road is what we're looking at. Once we get over in the Baker County, we're going to be watching this storm around Crossroads. So that's very much right in the center of where these storms are currently moving. And let's take a look at this road here. That's County Road 61. Need to be aware around Miller Road as well. Of course, this is Highway 91. There again, Crossroad, and right here is Jericho Road. So that's just giving you an idea of what we're looking at in western Baker County as this storm is continuing to cross over from Miller County into Baker County right now. So Newton, you are in the tornado warning polygon. You need to seek shelter right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. And let's see if we can put a track on this. Should be in Newton in about 15 minutes, maybe a little less than that. So still some time. As I mentioned, I know numerous manufactured homes in the Newton community. So if you know anybody there, you know that they are in a manufactured home or mobile home, whatever you want to call it, they need to get into a substantial shelter, site-built home or building right away. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. Although we are seeing the rotation continue to broaden out, that could tighten up again and pose an issue. So we're just going to stay right here until the Weather Service either cancels this warning or we let it expire at 9 o'clock. So let's get back to the high-res radar and put this back up in the center. So this is what we're looking at, and we have a new scan. So let's take a look at the velocity. And that rotation continues to deteriorate. Very, very broad now and very weak. And we're looking right in this area. So in the northeast extreme corner of Miller County, and now moving right into the center of Baker County. So right in here, this is going to be our main concern as far as any sort of rotation. Yep, there it is. This is our rotation tool. This just kind of does the math for us to take a look at how the wind is shifting as we go up in height. So once again, that is centered right there on that extreme northeast corner of Miller County, beginning to cross into Baker County. Broad rotation and fairly weak. Again, let's see if we have any hail with this storm. Doesn't look like we have any severe hail, but maybe some light, some small hail could be falling now, moving into Baker County. Some of this may not necessarily be reaching the ground. Our severe weather, our severe hail indicator is not really there. So these storms are not going to be big hail producers. This is really going to be about storms that spin up very quickly, and then they will cycle through very quickly as well. That's going to be the name of the game as we move through the morning through South Georgia. I'll zoom out, show you what we're looking at. So this is southwest Georgia, moving into Baker County, beginning to move toward Mitchell County. Camilla, you're not in the warning polygon right now, but just stay close. That could get extended out if this rotation begins to tighten up once again. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. And the conditions for these tornadoes, we're looking for three things. We're looking for some sort of lift. We have that. It's a good frontal system pushing through, so that's lifting up the moisture that we have in the atmosphere, which is our second ingredient. We need moisture. You can see that very clearly. We have it. And we need instability. And we don't have a lot of instability. The most that we have is in extreme southwest Georgia. I was just checking the dew point readings earlier this morning on our video, and we're looking for dew point readings really above 57, 58 degrees. So we get into the 60s and above, and that can help those storms get going, but we've really only seen that in extreme southwest Georgia. So that's why we have this severe thunderstorm here that's capable of producing a tornado. Once this continues to move east, we're going to see less favorable environment for these storms to spin up. Now, here's what we do have throughout most of the state of Georgia. Really, I-20 south is very strong wind shear. So any storm that pops up is going to have some spin on it. Does it get enough spin to produce a tornado? That's going to be hit or miss. But just know that wind shear is very, very strong this morning. And that's why we have the threat of these storms that will spin up, and then they'll, again, cycle through fairly quickly. So that broad rotation does remain. Looks like we're moving out of Miller County right now. So we may end up seeing the tornado warning for Miller County get dropped here shortly. And, the Weather Service just giving us their look at it as well, that they are seeing the rotation weakening as well. But they're going to continue to keep an eye on this. No indication that it's going to be dropped. But Miller County, you're in the clear. So Colquitt, you've been long since in the clear, but all of Miller County, you're all right. But we still have that tornado warning for most of Baker County and western Mitchell County. So Newton, again, just go ahead and be in that safe place right now. We put the storm track on. It's going to be right over Newton in about 15 minutes. So a little less than 15 minutes. We'll call it 10 to 15 minutes. Around 8:50, we'll be approaching the west side of Newton and then move on over town and then across the river into Mitchell County. So we can get you the all clear before 9 o'clock for Newton. So this storm just to the north of Highway 91, that's where most of the rotation is, and inside Baker County. So if we have any sort of tornadic activity, it's going to be primarily, should be above Highway 91. They're in really right in the heart, in the center of Baker County. Let's take a look at their debris track just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Doesn't look like any debris has been lofted. And we should have a pretty good view of that right now, looking at about 4,600 feet up into the air with our lowest scan. So that's a good shot if we have any tornadic activity. And as for right now, it doesn't look like that's the case. So that's certainly good news. All right, if you're just joining us, let's zoom out, tell you what we're talking about. Southwest Georgia, Baker County, Mitchell County. That's the red polygon. We have the tornado warning in effect until 9 o'clock. And then we also have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another 3 minutes, covering all of Seminole County and virtually all of Decatur County, including Bainbridge. And that line's going to continue to push toward the east. So Grady County may see a severe thunderstorm warning pop up soon. Let's kind of go inside these storms and see if we have anything to be concerned with. No, that's probably not going to be an issue. I was just looking here west of Bainbridge up Highway 84. Again, all these storms are going to have a little bit of spin on them. So with the wind shear that we were dealing with this morning, so we're just really looking for some tight rotation. This is pretty broad rotation right here. Is one thing I'm looking at. This is about 5 miles northwest of Bainbridge, beginning to cross over Highway 27. But nothing to be terribly concerned with. But just know that this storm is capable of producing a tornado, but for right now, severe thunderstorm warning is what is going to be in effect for Decatur County. All right, new scans. Let's take a look at our velocity. Yep, that rotation still there, still very broad. This is what we're looking at as it continues to push in closer to Newton, just smack dab in the center of Baker County. Take a look at some streets, and let's take a look at the velocity here. Not really showing much velocity out of the Fort Rucker radar. I'll tell you what, while we're looking at that, let's go ahead and grab Tallahassee radar. May get a little bit better view of this storm. And see what we have here. Still loading up all the data. Yeah, so there's that broad rotation. A little bit ugly, but still showing a little bit of rotation there. And over Highway 200 north of 91, there's Red Roads Road. There's Travelers Rest Road. And then this is going to continue moving toward County Road 15. And let me just take a look at our debris tracker here. And again, not showing any signs of debris being lofted. So that's good news. But if you are right in the center of Baker County and Newton, go ahead and remain in that tornado safe place for right now. And we will continue to watch this. So some more warnings coming out for the Florida Panhandle. We're just kind of watching that as well, since whatever happens there near the state line is going to be moving on into to Georgia. So we do have that tornado warning down in Calhoun and Liberty County, Florida. And if that holds together, that could be impacting Bainbridge or Cairo here over the next, let's see if we have a cell on this one. It doesn't look like, there we go. Let's get some timing on this. If it holds together, again, it's got a long ways to go. It's going to be heading up toward the Georgia-Florida line in about 45 minutes from right now. So good distance to travel, but we still have enough instability there in extreme South Georgia. down in southern Decatur and Grady County that could get some of these storms spinning up. So our storm heading through Baker County just continues to look less impressive as the scans continue to weaken this storm quite a bit, and that instability and the rotation, the velocity is also beginning to weaken as well. But those storms down in the Florida Panhandle, they're seeing some pretty good rotation down there in Liberty County near Bristol, Florida. So that one we're going to keep an eye on as it continues to move toward Grady and Decatur counties. All right, back to our high-res radar. And I'm just looking at the rotation, the velocity product. Keep calling it rotation. It indicates rotation, but we use the velocity. And let's see, we have a new warning in. Severe thunderstorm warning for Decatur, Grady, and Thomas County. That's in effect until 10 a.m. So that polygon should be popping up here momentarily. National Weather Service issuing the severe thunderstorm warning. This is capable of producing a tornado for Decatur County, Grady County, and northwestern Thomas County until 10 o'clock. Doppler radar indicating the severe thunderstorm located along a line just west of Bainbridge to 10 miles east of Stone Mill Creek. This is moving east at 20 miles per hour. So this thing is creeping along. Locations in the path of this storm. Let's see, I'll get you another view here. Since that polygon's taking a second to load up, let's flip over here and we can talk about it. So locations include West Bainbridge, as well as Cairo, Ocklackney, and that, and again, most of Grady County's in there, that northwestern corner of Thomas County, not all the way into Thomasville, but in Decatur County, including Bainbridge and Fowlestown as well. So there's that line just moving along very slowly. So we could get a little flooding issue with this as well, with the storms moving at 20 miles per hour. That's a slow-moving line. So we're going to watch out for some ponding on the roadways, especially along US 84 and US 27, all the way through Decatur County. So let's check on our storm going through Baker County again. Not much going on. Newton, just go ahead and stay in your safe place for now. Again, we'll give you the all clear at about 8:55. But just doesn't look like a big threat at the moment. Not showing very much rotation with that cell at all, and that just continues to unwind, which is pretty typical of these storms. High shear, but low instability environments. These storms just don't have a lot to work with. And we're also looking at pretty much the size of this storm is beginning to spread out as well a great deal. So that's showing some weakening as well. So when you get that rain that's all the way out here in the eastern Early County and stretching all the way across Mitchell County, that's not that real, super sharp line of storms that we're looking at further down toward the south. This is where we get really concerned when you have those bright reds and yellows and oranges all packed close together. You start to get up further north and everything spreads out. So that's another indicator it's hitting that stable air and beginning to dissipate. So it's 8:49. Our tornado warning remains in effect until 9 o'clock. This is for Baker and Mitchell County. Still technically for eastern Miller County, but yep, now it's gone. So that thing has just continued to weaken. So the Weather Service has canceled the warning for Baker, Mitchell, and Miller counties. So if you are in Newton or know someone in Newton and they were hunkered down, they are good to go now. Just be experiencing some heavy rain over the next 30 minutes or so for Newton and then moving into Mitchell County. So before we break off our broadcast here, I just want to kind of take a look and see if we have anything that's alarming along this line moving through Decatur County. It doesn't look like it. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. We do have the possibility of strong wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour with this line. So that in itself can damage rooftops, knock over some trees, and pull siding off of buildings and homes. So we're just going to watch out for those strong straight line winds with this line of thunderstorms moving through, but it doesn't look like we have any rotation to be concerned with at the moment. But that could change, and if so, we'll break in again with our live coverage. So let me just zoom out one time and show you what we're talking about here. Southwest Georgia, beginning to move through Bainbridge, heading toward Cairo, and then we do have some pretty significant storms with some rotation now in Liberty County, Florida. That's still got to move through Gadsden County, Florida, if it's going to make it up into Georgia. So that's got a little ways to go, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that. We do have another warning coming in. Let's see who this is for. All right, this is going to be actually a tornado watch. So this is being extended into Decatur, Grady, and Thomas County until 11 o'clock this morning. So this is going to be the first tornado watch for any county in Georgia. Everything was limited right up to the state line into Alabama and Florida. So they're going to go ahead and extend this out. So tornado watch, that means conditions are favorable for a tornado in Decatur, Grady, and Thomas counties until 11 o'clock this morning. So just remain weather aware from Thomasville, Cairo to Bainbridge, and all points in between. And we're going to go ahead and break off our live broadcast for now and go back live again if we have another tornado warning. And so stay close. Make sure you follow our YouTube page, subscribe, like, follow, whatever it is you need to do, and also our Facebook page as well for coverage of severe weather right here from the Georgia Weather Net. All right, I was getting ready to break away. Let me make sure here. Another tornado warning. All right, this is still for Florida. All right, so no tornado warnings in Georgia at the moment. Again, we'll bring it back here live if necessary.